So hello everyone, welcome to EduTap. So guys, welcome to your another important lecture of the PIB current affairs, in which we generally discuss the important news that are mentioned in PIB, which are relevant for your examinations of RBI, NABARD, and SEBI. Talking about today's two topics, guys. There's our National Logistic Policy of 2022 that has recently been launched by the Prime Minister, and the second one is Scale App. So I will be discussing both these topics that are the things that are relevant for your examination. And if I talk about these topics, guys, these topics are equally relevant both for your phase one as well as for your phase two examination of RB and NABARD. So now, guys, without wasting any time, let's start with the first question and let's see how many of you get your answer right for the first question. First question here is about the National Logistic Policy of 2022. You have to tell me which of the following statements are true or which of the following statements are correct about the targets or the aim of this National Logistic Policy. The first is that it wants to reduce India's logistic cost to be comparable to global benchmarks by the year 2025. So this is the keyword here, that is 2021. Then is it wants that India should be among the top 30 countries in the Logistic Performance Index by the year 2030. Whether it is top 30, top 25, top 20, that needs to be remembered. Whether this is 2025 or 2030, this needs to be remembered. The third point here is it targets or it aims to bring down the logistic costs from around 14 to 15 percentage of GDP to around 8 percentage, which means at present the logistic cost in India is around 14 to 15 percentage, and we want it to reduce to 8 percentage in the coming 5 years. So these are the keywords here which you have to focus when you are attempting this kind of question. So coming to this here, guys, only third statement is right. That is only third option is right. Why? Because if I talk about here the global benchmarks, it is 2030. It is by 2030 that we want that India's logistic cost should be comparable to global benchmark standards. Then we want to be not among top 30, we want to be among top 25 countries by the year 2030 in the logistic performance index that is being released. You have to tell me which organization. So here give you my first homework question. You have to tell me which organization basically released the logistic performance index. So tell me quickly in the comment box, guys, which organization is basically releasing the logistic performance index and what is the rank of India as per the latest logistic performance index. I think that was in 2018. So what was the rank of India in the 2018's logistic performance index? So let's see how many of you know about the logistic performance index. Coming back to this national logistic policy, guys. So yes, we want to be among top 25 countries by the year 2030 in the logistic performance index. And that third point is absolutely right. The purpose of this policy is basically to bring down the logistic cost, which is around at present around 14 to 15 percentage, to add around 8 percentage of GDP in the next 5 years. Then, guys, the next question is again on this national logistic policy. You have to tell me which among the following statements are correct about the features of this national logistic policy. The first feature is about the integration of digital system. The purpose of this system will be basically integrating 30 different systems from the 7 departments, which will also include departments like road, transport, railways, customs, and aviation. The second one is about the unified logistic interface platform. The purpose here is basically to bring the digital services related to logistic on a single portal. ठीक है, यूनिफाइड देखो पर्पस ही नाम ही बता रहा है यूनिफाइड लॉजिस्टिक इंटरफेस प्लेटफॉर्म. The third is that policy will be, it is basically a comprehensive logistic action plan has been started in the policy, ठीक है, which has been basically started for industry associations to resolve issues by reaching out to the government. So which among the following statements are right here when I talk about the CLAP initiative? So coming to this question, guys, here only first and second statement is right here. The third statement is not wrong because it is talking about e-log services. ठीक है, e-log services की यहाँ पे बात हो रही है. Now let's talk about this policy in detail here, guys. So PM has launched this national logistic policy in the on 17th of September, but then it was later approved by the cabinet also. ठीक है, अगर just look at the PIB headlines when I see about here, ठीक है जी, it says that national logistic policy has not come out of the blue. It says 8 years of hard work is there behind it, because now it says that government, how much effort government has put in when they have formed this national logistic policy. Government also says that earlier we have formed the Gati Shakti plan. We know National Gati Shakti or PM Gati Shakti scheme. We can talk about National Gati Shakti plan, or that was also launched. So Gati Shakti plan was one step that was taken. Now ahead it is national logistic policy. The purpose here is it will together bring a new culture of work in India. Okay, then unified logistic interface platform, as I have discussed, it will basically bring all the digital related services with transportation sector into a single portal. That was basically just we can see that is from the heading of this news article itself. When I talk about in detail of this national logistic policy, the first is the vision of this policy. The vision of this policy is because 8 years hard work has been put on. So with the vision here is to develop a technologically enabled, integrated, cost efficient, resilient, and sustainable or trusted logistic ecosystem. So when you look at the logistics system, what are the things that you want? First of all is you want that there should be new technologies that should be there, that is technologically enabled. Okay, जी? Then it should be integrated, it should be in sync, that is integration should be there. Okay, cost efficient होना चाहिए, ज़्यादा महंगा नहीं होना चाहिए, because when we always know in terms of logistics, the most important thing is in India the transportation sector is very high और बहुत ज़्यादा महंगा है. The transportation sector is costly, so it should be cost efficient, resilient, and sustainable as well as trusted. These are the basic things with which this vision for this national logistic policy, with which this policy has come across. Now, when I talk about the aim, the point that I've asked in the question also is aim is basically to bring down the logistic cost. That's the thing that I was discussing with you guys. देखो logistic cost को ही कम करना है, because अगर मैं बात करूँ roads, railways और transportation में बहुत ज़्यादा logistic cost है. India is बहुत ज़्यादा cost लग रही है वहाँ पे. It is very costly here. The purpose here is to aim is to bring down the logistic cost from 14 to 15 percentage to around 8 percent of GDP in the coming 5 years. Okay. When I've discussed about the four phases of the policy, the question that I've discussed, the four phases are basically integration of digital systems, IDS, ULIP, that is Unified Logistic Interface Platform, ease of logistics, ELOG, and then is your comprehensive logistic action plan. So integration means that the integration of digital system, which means 30 different systems of the 7 departments will basically be integrated, which will also include data from road sector, transportation, railway, customs, aviation, and commerce department. These are the departments here: road, transport, railways, custom, aviation, and commerce departments. Then when I talk about unified logistic interface platform, देखो नाम ही बोल रहा है unified logistic interface platform, which means you have to unify the logistic interface platform. The purpose will be basically to bring all digital services which are related to transportation sector into a single portal. Unify कर देना है. Unification is required here. Ease of logistics, which simply says is you have to ease the things for the industry as well as for the government. The purpose here is it has been started so that industry associations could resolve their issues could resolve the issues by reaching out to the government by going to this ease of logistic services. Then this guy's comprehensive logistic action plan. Basically, this policy will be implemented through this comprehensive logistic action plan, which includes 8 key actions. These 8 key actions are the things which I have discussed earlier on also are वो भी इसी के पीछे देखो integrated digital logistic system, standardization of physical assets and benchmarking services quality standards, logistic human resource development and capacity building, state engagement, export import logistics, services improvement frameworks, sectoral plan for efficient logistics, and facilitation of development of logistic parks. So these are the 8 basically key actions on which how this policy will be implemented. So these 8 actions are again important for us. Now the thing that I was discussing, because 8 years का अगर work लगा है तो देखो, it says that around 16% of India's agriculture production is wasted at various stages due to logistic factors. This is one of the reason here. Agriculture production, 16% of agriculture is wasted because of lack of logistication here. Then India's dependence on logistics, if I talk about why this thing is required. See, road sector, railways, and waterways. When I talk about 60% of our logistic cost is on roads, 30% is railways, and 5% is on waterways. So that is the dependence of India on these three specific means. So that is what this policy will basically work upon. And if I talk about this policy in detail, okay, so 21st of September, the cabinet has recently taken out a decision. Yesterday, the decision has been taken out. Okay, so when I talk about this policy, ठीक है, these things I have discussed with you, multi-route consultations होंगी, technologically enabled होगा, overarching initiative. The main thing is our target is to reduce cost of logistics to be comparable to global benchmark by 2030, that I have explained in the question also. ठीक है, improve the logistic performance, so which means we want to be among the top 25 countries by the year 2030, and create a data driven decision support mechanism for an efficient logistic ecosystem, for which the collapse initiative will play a very important role here. But this was all about your national logistic policy for 2022. Okay, ji. So I hope you have understood this policy. Now let's come to the second topic of the day, that is Scale app. The question I'm asking you is, which among the following app has been launched by the Ministry of Education and Development, which basically provides a one-stop solution for the skilling, learning, and assessment of leather industry? You know the answer. The answer here is, that is option number A, Scale app here. Now coming to this question, so what was this Scale app all about? So it is basically focusing on the leather industry. that is skill development in leather sector at, and it has been launched at Central Leather Research Institute in Chennai. Now, when I talk about Scale Lab, what is this Scale Lab all about? It is a skill certification assessment for leather employees. So, which tells us the skill certification when I talk about, basically, it will be a one-stop solution for basically providing skilling, learning, and assessment or employment needs of leather industry. When you look at all the things, that is skilling, learning, assessment, when assessing the employment industry, so what kind of skill is required, what kind of learning is required, that is what has been briefed in this app. Okay, one stop solution for skilling, learning, assessment, and employing leads for leather industry. When I talk about who has launched it, so it is again an easy thing to answer, that is, it is launched by Leather Skill Sector Council or Leather SSC, and it is launched at where it has been launched, that I've explained you in the heading also, that is, it has been launched at Council of Scientific and Industrial Research Center or Leather Research Institute at Chennai. Okay, so people from all age group can participate here. But the two very important facts that needs to be remembered here is, guys, if I talk about the Indian leather sector, it has one of the youngest and most productive workforce. So this is one of the reason why this app has come into workforce, is because India has one of the youngest and most productive workforce, with around 55% of the Indian workforce under the age of 35 is employed in the leather sector. Second important thing is, India is the world's second largest producer as well as consumer of shoes. So these are the two additional important facts that you need to remember here. So guys, this was all about your PIB lecture for the day. Okay, so if you have liked the lecture, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, and to get all the latest updates on the upcoming examination, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You will get all the latest update here. Then guys, to get the access of the PDF of all the things that we are giving you on the YouTube, you have to subscribe to our Telegram channel, the link for which is given in the description below. So I hope guys you have liked the lectures. Still, if you have any kind of doubt or any topic you want me to discuss, tell me in the comment box. I will be really happy to bring about that specific topic in front of you. Okay. And still, if you have any kind of doubt, you could drop me an email at hello@edutap.co.in. You can even place us a call, that is at 81462 07241. So I hope guys the lecture is fruitful for you. Keep learning, keep preparing hard, keep working hard. Wishing you all the best for your examination. Bye bye.